Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Thoughts on Thursday. I'm your host today, Chelsea, and here with Barbara, and Mary's out doing something different, which is cool. And our topic today for just kind of a free discussion is going to be, why do we matter, or do we even really matter? And what are we doing here? I think the answer to the most simplest one, do we matter, is definitely yes, in my opinion. And I feel like we are all part of a symphony and we all play our part, and every part is important. Anka says she talked with Louis Therese and she's sleepy today. Yeah, Louis Therese joins us from South Africa, so sometimes the time difference is a little challenging. But how is everyone today, and what do you feel about this topic? Go ahead, Barbara.
Well, I love how you said, Chelsea, that you feel like everybody is part of this symphony. And I think that that's actually a beautiful way to describe it. And I agree with you. I think that, there's a reason that we're all here. I know that sometimes that sounds kind of trite. Oh, things happen for a reason. But, I believe that. I think that we all have a part to play, something to contribute. And even though, I might not totally even understand what it is, just knowing that I am not alone in all this and I am part of a bigger whole or a bigger whatever, it's comforting. So that's, I'll just leave it there and see who else wants to jump in.
Go ahead, Judith.
Hi. Yeah, it's been my understanding and my belief for a long time that on a soul level, I'll just speak for me. I come here to learn lessons, and the only way our soul can learn those lessons is to attach to matter, which is our body. And so, really, bottom line, I'm here to learn lessons. And also, I guess more recently, my learning has to do with letting go of that belief that there is any separation and that we all, everything is one, and that we are all connected. Um, and that's challenging, but it's going well.
Yeah, I agree, Judith. And um, to come here and be in the physical plane allows us to have contrast where we can come come to see different points of view, which allow us to maybe grow in our own view or change our own view. And um, there's something I wanted to add. It was on the tip of my brain. That just like when if we return back to source, and we are, hi Cecilia, if we return back to source and we are just one with everything and everyone, we can never see a reflection of that source, of that one source. So we come and pixelate so we can get different views and you know experiences. And then also, Judith, within you, when you mentioned, lessons, we come here to learn lessons. I I feel like almost always, 100% of the time for me, those lessons are wrapped around compassion, compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. Hi, Cecilia. We're talking today about do we matter here on Earth, and what are we doing here, and those type of topics. You know, the endless inquiry that we all seem to share. Anka, would you like to share? You're already
Yes.
unmuted.
I think we matter when we do good stuff, not bad stuff. And people should do just good stuff.
But that's
I
a good
don't know.
inquiry. What happens when you accidentally do bad stuff? What happens then?
Then
Maybe there's a lesson
they
there.
have to learn the lesson and to grow. And after the grow, to develop the self that he has or she has, and be light and to be good. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And
But it's the topic is like this, and all the time we refer at good and the bad, but what is deep? What is more deep than that?
yeah,
I
go
ask,
ahead.
I don't know.
Yeah. Go ahead, Barbara.
I like that. I think that's a good question, Anka. And I think, and I've thought about this for a while, getting back to the fact that we're all kind of connected and I mean, there are some people on this planet that I just really don't care for. And some is very, sometimes it's a very strong feeling. And yet, I don't think anybody, or at least very few people, wake up and say, I'm going to be a really jerky person today. I think most people wake up and want to do as good as they can or as much as they can to make themselves feel better. And that's kind of, I think the motivating factor for a lot of people is to make themselves feel better. And sometimes that doing something to make yourself feel better doesn't really intersect well with somebody else. But from their perspective, I think they can rationalize why they're doing it. So, it's hard. I mean, for me, getting back to what Chelsea was saying as far as compassion. Hi, Renee, welcome. Getting back to, I mean, just realizing compassion, even though people do things that I don't particularly care for, and I even wonder how could they do that. I realize that they're just trying to feel better, and that's how they go about doing it. And that's kind of their way of finding their own bliss and their own joy. And so I don't know. I mean, to me, things just aren't that black and white or cut and dried. So
Oh, on the topic of, people going about and doing things to make themselves feel better. I feel like a lot of people are on that path of making themselves feel better until they realize there's only one thing, which is you can't make yourself feel better. You have to kind of join what it would actually feel like to be that already in a roundabout way, is kind of my thought. But you go ahead now, Cecilia.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Well, my take on this is that we put judgments, good, bad, nice, evil, whatever, and they're simply situations that are happening. They're simply occurrences, and we label them and make them good, make them bad. And God is not saying you're better than this other person. God is just saying, all right, well, if that's happening, what are you going to do about it? What's going to happen? And I think a lot of things that are happening that we are not comfortable with are placed in our way so we can find out who we are, and how we will respond in that situation. I remember being in this one group. It was a beautiful group, 25 years ago. Conversations with God. When that book came out, I was in love with that book. I would love the whole series and the trilogy, whatever. And I found a book club So we got together once a week and we read from it and we would talk, talk, talk. And there would be any number from 8 to 20 people at the book club every week. And there was lots of personalities and lots of whatever. And we were all loving the books. So the Conversations with God books, very uplifting, very enlightening, very, inspiring books. But there was this one guy, and whatever we talked about, he would, throw in the opposite opportunity into the conversations about it. And he was saying this one day, and he was like going da 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 da. And I don't want to be the devil's advocate. And two of us at the same time said, yes, you do. You want to be the devil's advocate because you want us to think about things in different perspectives. And yes, it excites us, and it riles us up, and it makes us get focused on what it is we truly want. So those things are brought to us because it helps us to realize what we want. It's like, oh no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want this. Da, 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 da. But those things we're judging as bad are inspirational, and they give us clarity on what it is we really want. And so if we're in a funk, put yourself in a place where there's options, because you'll get clarity on what it is you want. So I don't like to label the good, bad, whatever, because I recognize it's there for a reason. And so I think it's all about the fun and the exploration and the really choosing what it is we want. So that's my take on it.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
It's like we go about and we're making our own personal menu of options of we can choose, and each experience we have helps us define and clarify our own little personal menu of what we go forward with, and our options of tolerance and compassion and love and acceptance in the future. Anybody else like to share? Go ahead, Barbara.
Well, I'll just jump in. And I thought about this, Chelsea, when you were talking about like options and our own menu. Years ago, I learned Qigong, and then I became a Qigong instructor. And we were told very clearly by our teacher, don't alter any of the routines, do it exactly how you were taught. And yet, me being me, at the very end of my routine, I did alter it a little bit. And I visualized, and I taught when I was teaching, I taught my students we would stand there with our hands like this and just kind of imagine our heart center and think of gratitude. And I would also visualize the sun coming in and my heart becoming like a rosebud and then opening with the sun, and just getting the sun and the love and the joy and feeling that rosebud opening and accepting all that, and then turning into a giant bell and bringing love into me, and then bringing out kind of like the Liberty Bell, a big bell that goes back and forth like this, and it would ring in and bring love to me, and then ring out and send love out to everybody who I encountered. And as I was doing that, I would do a little self-talk, and I talked about feeling unconditional love and bringing that into myself and then sending it out. And I still remember very clearly the first time I felt and experienced unconditional love through that exercise. And it was so profound. I mean, I actually almost started crying. I was just standing there myself doing this, and it was so powerful. And it was such a feeling of, unconditional love and joy and acceptance and everything that was rolled up into one. And it was like, wow, I want more of this. And so as I continued to teach and do the routine, I would do that more and more often. And to me, that is part of creating that menu that you were talking about, doing things to experience that joy and that unconditional acceptance and love that we all really deserve, but find it hard a lot of times, at least for me, to bring it into my existence. So,
Yeah, I think that's like a good tangible like exercise example of of the opposite of trying to feel better, trying to feel better, and then just sitting with, okay, I know I'm loved. I'm going to give myself this little exercise, and it's repetitive, and then it's small and simple, and then you land there and you feel it. And it probably had a lot to do with letting go of the trying.
Yeah, probably very much. That's a good point.
Yeah. Are you still, I see what you're putting into the chat, Anka. Are you still kind of weighing in the topic, the
Renee
do
had
we
asked.
matter, do we don't?
Renee had asked what the topic was.
Oh, okay. Oh, there, yeah, I see, Renee. The topic is, the topic began as something, do we matter? And
Yeah,
what are we
oh,
doing here? But you know how it always seems to evolve as we put our input into a new topic. But um, you look bright and cheerful today in your orange and yellow.
thank you.
Well, we absolutely matter because we're here. That's what counts right now. We chose to be here. We have a reason and we don't always remember why. And that's what the fun of this journey is all about. We get to go around and explore. It's like, why am I here? Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me not happy. This makes me, whoa, this excites me. This makes me passionate. This makes me whatever. You get to go out and choose. We are in a playground and you get to pick which, you know, playground utility you want to go into. And it's like, I want to go spinning. I want to go upside down. I want to go here. You get to choose. So do it.
Yep. It's like spending the weekend with a 3 and 1 year old and going to the
Right.
pumpkin patch and
Yeah. And oh, there's a cute boy on that side of the playground. Oh, what about that?
go ahead, Renee.
Am I unmuted here?
You are.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so anyway, obviously this is a kind of an open-ended opportunity to explore whatever. And I think sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to explore something that our heart really wants to try, because partly, maybe we feel unworthy, that maybe that's for other people or that's not for me. But as I've sort of come to the place now where I am much more comfortable approaching all kinds of people. Now, once upon a time, I worked in an industry which was very superficial, which was all about the outside and how it all appeared. And it was in the world of design, and it was what it was. You know, it didn't really focus on the inner parts of life. So there I was. Somehow I found my way into a doorway that led me to explore energy healing. What the hell was that? I'm an artist, an interior decorator, a designer. What would attract me to energy healing? What in the world what in the world was I thinking of? But it didn't really matter what I was thinking of, because no matter how hard I tried to second guess that, like, you want to do what? Why do you want to go explore that? I don't know. I just do. It's not as if I needed someone's permission to open the door. I needed to give myself permission. And once I did that, it changed everything, because I met and I was sort of encountering very different kinds of people than I had ever met before. And obviously everyone has a persona and a presentation and all the rest of that, but they came from a different place. You know, their energy came from a different place. Their hearts were in a different place. I'm not saying people in the design world don't have a heart, but it's just different. It was on a different level. And I'll always be grateful, you know, to have allowed myself, to have given myself permission and the gift to say, well, I don't know why I want to go, and I'm just going. Like I'm going to Montreal. I'm going to take the level 1 and 2 seminar, and I'll see whatever I see. And then I wound up going to other seminars in other parts of the country, and it sort of just sparked a whole way of living from the inside out as opposed to from the outside in. So that I think was maybe a big part of allowing myself to play, because serious people who are very overly responsible, we don't play. We're not allowed to play, you know. We have to take care of everything and make sure everything is all, you know, in its place and done properly, and we just can't afford to kind of let go and play. And in some cases we don't know, it's not part of my comfort zone, it's not part of my direct experience. I played seriously. Like I studied classical piano from the age of 6. That you could say is playing, but I also studied with the Royal Conservatory of Music, which was very strict and had a curriculum and had an agenda and had a program and had a reason why all these different parts were necessary. I never questioned any of it. I just followed along. Someone said, "Well, I guess you're going to study piano now." I don't even know if I wanted to, but I did for like 20 years, which is a long time to invest in something that, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form sorry that I did, but it was just a commitment that started so early in my life that I just kept continuing to commit to it, because that's what other people sort of gave me as an opportunity and said, I think you should become, you know, a classical pianist, or I think you should study classical piano. Anyway, that's it.
I think you nailed it on the head when you said you know, explore from the inside out or the outside in, or whichever way you put it, but it just more of like exploring because your heart led you somewhere,
Right.
to maybe investigate something that wasn't exactly tangible or that you could see or that's been there, but there was a doorway, and it's like, oh, something more. It's led you to where you are now. Go ahead, Alka.
I think we came here to bring joy to others, to make love to others.
I think you're
And
right.
we have to love each other because from love goes everything in many directions. Each people has to search his path. We matter because we have souls, and the souls are eternal. And so we have to work hard and play hard at the same time to develop us as a person. Like, I don't know what we want to develop. And if a person works with the self, um, the brain will follow the heart, and if the heart is developed, the soul is the the big the big portal to other souls. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's really well put, and I I think when we find, when you know, when we are out in the world and we are in love with everyone we see, we love the tree, we love the leaf, and I just, it really does come down to promoting and acknowledging the love that's coming from inside that you have for yourself, you have for everything, first
I
and
have a
foremost.
lot, some people have a lot of love inside them, but they don't show, or are people that are showing this, but not too much. There are kinds and kinds of people. People, God has a symphony,
Yeah.
and we are the notes. And if we play a piano, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's a topic we can explore in the future, like why some people feel closed down in the shining out of the love of their heart. And but it's been wonderful shares today, and especially with Anka and Renee. You guys just made the day. And I think based on the time, we'll wrap it up for today, but we'll be here next week and continue to explore. Love you all. And we'll record this, we'll edit it a bit and put it up on our Thoughts on Thursday YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.